In 2014, I spent some months in occupied Palestine as a human rights observer, and in these dark days, the people I met, the activists I met, both in Israel and in Palestine, are never far from my thoughts. What was perpetrated against innocent civilians in the attacks by Hamas are horrendous, and there's nothing that can justify that. The scale and the nature of the bombing in Gaza in response is worse than anything we've seen before, and the ground assault that is still coming will add yet more brutality. We must remember the root of this endless cycle of barbarity is the ongoing illegal occupation. The simple fact is the cycle of barbarity will continue until we address the occupation. More innocent lives on both sides will be needlessly taken. I want to pause for a moment as well to extend, like others have, my condolences to the families of Kim Damty and Emily Hand. I'd also like to take a moment to extend my condolences to the family of Lara and Yara Alaha. Yara and Lara are two young women who work here in the Oireachtas with us and lost 10 family members ranging from 80 to 1 year old in one night. In one bomb, they lost 10 family members. And I would hope that the Taoiseach, who's here, would also be willing to extend his condolences to them, because I find it disappointing that he didn't at the beginning, to be honest. So as I say, the root of the endless violence of barbarity is the ongoing illegal occupation. And to see this, just look at what's happening in the rest of the West Bank. Look at what's happening now. In the last week, state-armed settlers and soldiers have killed 51 people. 2 villages have been left depopulated. Are these villages just going to join a list of disappeared places like Deir Yassin, Ain el Zatoun, Saliha, emptied of their people by Israeli violence with absolutely no consequences? The occupation's cruelty is something I saw and documented firsthand. In the years since, it has actually just got worse. B'Tselem, Amnesty, Human Rights Watch have all rightly called this apartheid. The number of illegal settlements continues to grow and has been growing faster. The impunity that settlers face and have in terms of their harassment attacks on Palestinians has meant such attacks are more overt and widespread. Through the occupation, the violence that it uses to maintain this occupation, and the cruelty it doles out to Palestinians on a daily basis, Israel is wildly in breach of international law. And we do nothing to respond to that. We do nothing to punish it. And so we have allowed, ultimately, this situation to continue and get worse. Forced displacement, demolition, forced transfers, permit systems, the apartheid system, indiscriminate killing, arrest and jail and imprisonment without trial. The list goes on and on and on. Every single time that Israel has reached an agreement with its neighbours or agreed to withdraw land, it has done so in the face of strong pressure, typically strong international pressure. If we want to reinvigorate the peace processes that Taoiseach talked about, we need to find ways to bring this pressure on Israel again. If we want to make sure that international law is real and not just a talking point or some dry academic subject, then we need to find ways to make it real by having genuine, serious consequences. Today, there is no pressure on the Israeli government. Nothing will change as a result. If we want everyone to have safety and security, not just one side, we need to make real international law and end the occupation. And we start by ending Israel's impunity. And I appreciate that there are many things that we should be doing that we have done to Russia, like sanctions and economic measures, that we rely on our European bring in at a European Union level. And we've seen in the past week how the European Union really views the Palestinian people. But there are many things we can be doing ourselves. Why are we signing up to Project Roxanne, knowing that the Israeli National Police, who are in a part of that occupation force, who the Magav, which are absolute brutal part of that occupation force, are part of Project Roxanne? Why are we joining it? Because we are giving carte blanche to continue the occupation by ignoring those crimes. So really, we need to find in ourselves ways that we can say, no, we are not going to continue to support and condone this occupation. Until we do, international law is not real, and the apartheid and the genocide of the Palestinian people will continue.